you don't break, and it's come a long way, in our generation. I mean, and we learned it from those before us.
Right.
And I think it's just getting better and better, amateur boxing. It's growing, and more kids are learning how health and fitness is really the right way to go in life. And not all kids play football, baseball, basketball, and soccer. There are kids out there that don't play sports, and they do need a club to belong to, and that's where these gyms come into play. We're really more like a club, like a health club.
Feel like you belong.
You feel like you belong. You become a real unit. Even though you're boxing by yourself in there, everybody in that gym is behind you. And I'm watching the fat kids turn skinny. I'm watching the skinny kids get muscles. I'm seeing confidence left and right. I'm seeing everybody that get results that come into this gym. And we want to promote that, and we want to keep it going, and we want it to expand, and we want it to get out there into heartland America, that this is really a healthy way of living, is to take on a boxing workout, man,
It is. Well, let's go over some key terms. Key terms are dedication, setting a dream, discipline, diet, sleep, and exercise.
Amen.
This is the core value, and having good role models, seeking the proper gym, certified gyms.
Certified and registered gyms, yes, absolutely.
Must be, a must. And having fun.
Having fun. You know what? The hard work and the little results you get, because they really come little results, all add up to big fun. And accomplishment.
It does.
And I see the look after a few months of hard work, and all of a sudden I can see them and the confidence growing, and the way they rub off on the guy next to them, and and the gals, and just the camaraderie. It's something that you just never can give up once you get your claws into it, and
Right. Even though it's an individual sport, when you're in your ring, it's a one-on-one, but you go to competitions in this it's called events or bouts.
Yes.
You go as a team, and after a while you want to see your team win, because then you can have a team trophy. And as you advance, we can start going to larger events. You just came back this weekend from a special event.
Yes, I just came back from the National Golden Gloves in Little Rock, Arkansas. Us, New York Metropolitan, actually came home with one National Golden Glove champion, Danny Jacobs, from the 165-pound class. He repeated from last year. He was a 152-pound champion last year. We had 3 national champions last year. Prior to that, I was at the U.S. Championships in Colorado, where we ended up with a national champion there in the 178-pound class. And I've watched most of these national champions start as juniors in the Junior Olympic program here in New York. So to watch their progress and to watch how they grow into adults and how they act so proper, I couldn't be happier. Sometimes, or actually all the time, the way they act and carry themselves as a person is more impressive to me than the actual boxing.
That's right.
And to see how lean and how strong these guys have become, and not all of them were that way when they first started, and how they watch what they eat, and how they know they can only have a little of this and a little of that. And we reward them with ice cream now and then. Every now and then they can have a slice of pizza.
So building self-esteem.
Yeah, for the most part, it's a self-esteem thing, and they really carry it well. And to have traveled on many occasions to these regionals and nationals and watch these kids grow from juniors to seniors and become productive citizens of our society and great examples to their fellow man is such a great feeling, because the virtues are learned here, and they really do absorb them, and it's just great to see,
Right. I got one person I want to go over. Joe has a son who's a champion. Right now he's away in a major competition. But why don't you give the audience, our viewers, a little background on your son, Joey Jr.
Joe Jr. right now has just finished his lacrosse season with the Freeport High School varsity lacrosse team. He's also a Freeport High School varsity football player, which he's now switching gears into that. But Joe is also a 3-time Junior Olympic champion, one of the best boxers out of this gym. He recently just lost in the Golden Glove semifinals, and he gave it a hell of a try. Not bad for a 16-year-old, considering it's the only sport you go from the JV to the men's division. So,
right.
Sometimes there can be maturity differences,
yes.
But it's all about conditioning. And he's been a tremendous example for this gym and for his town and for his high school, and I'm extremely proud of him. He started at 12, so he picked up the skills slowly but surely like all the other kids, but he grew into a heavyweight, and he's a wonderful boxer. He knows all the characteristics of the tricks and all the regimented moves we do, and working the pads, working the heavy bag, speed bag, jump rope, eating right. he's one of our best examples because he started as a junior, and the juniors that start at a young age, boy, what do they become when they're 18, 19, 20 years old? Well, you know, the motive is to get these kids Olympic dreams. Because we want them to represent the United States of America in the Olympics and do us all proud. And which right now we're in our search for our new Olympic team.
That's right.
And
it's called Olympic Club right now.
That's right. And you know, with all the club shows and all the local tournaments, and when the kids start getting their experience, they'll get into the regional tournaments and hopefully good enough into the national tournaments and be recognized. So when the Olympic trials roll around for Beijing, maybe somebody from this gym can be an Olympian. That's the dream we have as a coach. You know, and that's the dream we try to sell along with teaching them about life. And, you know, what better place to be than an Olympian for your country, man, you know? And not that the little accomplishments aren't big accomplishments, but the Olympic dream is really what we want the amateur boxers that are in it to dream. We want them to think, wow, if I work hard enough, maybe I can be an Olympian, you know?
Well, you're setting a core foundation which can be applied throughout life. We need those core foundations. Like I said, you're setting a dream. A dream is a goal. You're getting disciplined. You're learning how to focus. Here, you have your mentors, your role models. The role models, because I'm a team physician with the Golden Gloves, and all the representatives are champions. They are former champions. So you have top-notch, top-of-the-line, former Olympians, Golden Glove winner role models. Very important.
Yes, and they carry their sport with pride, too. You know, they don't like when there's a hiccup in the sport, neither. You know, so immediately, like, when something comes up that shouldn't, it gets taken care of, and, you know, and we very rarely see it again. And that's what you love about the guys that have been around, because they hold it right here. You know, I mean, everything from the training to the dieting to the respect for each other. And you know, it's something that outside of the boxing circle, a lot of people out in the public don't realize that this sport does stand for that, especially in the amateurs, and how hard these kids work. And another thing that a lot of people don't know is that amateur boxing gets a bad rap because sometimes the pro sport will be mismatched. But in amateur boxing, safety is very, very high. It's number one on the list, with the coaches, with the ring physicians, and with the officials. Right. And I love the job that they do, because we can always come back and box another day if we just have someone too tough in front of us. You know, and that's the beautiful thing. But here's another statistic that people don't realize. It's one of the lowest sports in injury and fatality that there is compared to major sports in this country. Football, hockey, and lacrosse are all much higher in injury than amateur boxing, and not to say that's bad. You know, I mean, those other sports, you know, hey, I love them too, and I like to be part of all of that also, but amateur boxing is run safely. And that's one of the greatest accomplishments, is that there's very little injury in amateur boxing.
Right. Exactly.
And, you know, I credit the physicians and the people that are in that line of work. You know, they make sure also, along with the coaches, we keep our kids safe.
It is. Well, I'll just go into that, because we're talking about health related. Some of these students, I call them students, and they're also athletes, they come in for a major competition. Sometimes when I see them, this is the first time they're having a physical, either in a year or maybe in 5 years, or the first time in their life. So I get to screen them, and since I'm there in a lot of competitions, I get to see these athletes several times a year, and they have the biggest face, biggest smile, because they're happy to see and recognize a face, and they remember me, and that takes the stress off them, and they relax, and I can have a nice open conversation with them, and they get to tell me things that they would not ordinarily tell maybe their primary doctor they go to, and I get to learn about them because I was an athlete. So here we are.
Here we are, man, and I'll tell you, we have a great family here. USA Boxing has a tremendous family. I like to call it a family because I know everyone regionally and nationally. But within my own LBC, which means Local Boxing Council, we have a family of coaches, athletes, doctors, and officials that are extremely close to each other and are out for the better of amateur boxing in every phase of the word. Through nutrition, through exercising,